Hey, buddy, watch this.
Hello, Regis Kilbin is the name, and Hearthstone is the game, and this is a deck spotlight on an Egg Druid by J4CKIECHAN. This is a type of Druid that has been moderately popular for a very long time in Hearthstone. It's very different than what we typically see from Druid, because this deck is all about really fast minions on the board early, and then buffing those minions in various ways the Druid has access to. Lots of different buff cards, so that you get these really wide boards of surprisingly large minions very early in the game, and you're able to just run through your opponent with tons of damage, thanks to cards like Savage Roar as well as a big finisher. 4 or 5 minions, Savage Roar on turn 3, and you can get crazy things like turn 3 lethals. It's not actually all that impossible. But this deck is not by any means the most popular version of Druid, but J4CKIECHAN created this new take on the list from the Mean Streets of Gadgetzan. There's a few new cards in here that make this a little more interesting and a little more unique for the meta as it sits right now in Gadgetzan. And this deck, I believe he played it all the way to Legend and has been playing it at high Legend levels as well. So a very competitive list. Neat spin on Druid that you don't always see. So if you're looking for a different, faster way to play Druid, this is certainly the way to go. And it looks like the best list that's out there right now. So, as I mentioned, this is all about early minions. So as you'd expect from the curve here, it's very low. 16 different 1-drops here. It's vital that you hit a 1-drop, that you keep playing minions early, that you get stuff out there that is able to stick, and that way you can buff it up. And that's why a lot of the minions in this deck are minions that essentially either are hard to kill or discourage your opponent from killing them. Ardent Squire, Divine Shield, very sticky. Dragon Egg, your opponent doesn't want to hit it because they don't want to give you a 2-1 whelp. So another minion that's sticky or discourages interaction from your opponent. Enchanted Raven, just a big 1-drop, right? 2 minions from Living Roots. Patches the Pirate comes out for free, so it's just harder for your opponent to deal with. Runic Egg, another egg. The Dragon Egg and Runic Egg, of course, are what give this deck its name. These are just, your opponent is discouraged from killing them, so they're likely to hang around. So all these different 1-drops, and then on the 2-drop slot, you basically got all your buffs. You got Mark of the Wild, Mark of Yasharaj, and Power of the Wild to help you leverage those early minions. So sometimes you'll get a Power of the Wild off on 3 guys, and it'll just be a nice big board. Other times you'll just hit that Mark of Yasharaj to get 1 big minion and draw a card. The one buff I did mention is the new one for Mean Streets of Gadgetzan, which is Mark of the Lotus. The fact that this is 1 mana, it basically does the same thing as Power of the Wild, is a huge advantage, because it's so much easier to slot this in on leftover mana, basically. Just play this, and it's a very cheap way to get a very big board quite quickly. Some other interesting inclusions are Pantry Spider. Not a card we've seen a ton. It's only ever been played in lists like this. But it is 2 minions that are hard to deal with, and it is a beast, which works nicely for Mark of Yasharaj. So Druid in particular has some ways to take advantage of this card in this list. We've also got Defender Vargas, pretty typical for these kinds of decks to have a bigger minion that leverages those boards. And Soul of the Forest, of course, sort of an escape plan. If somehow they wipe your board, you can play Soul of the Forest before that and just get a bunch of 2/2s back. So this is a backup plan if they're able to find an answer. You've got Soul of the Forest that can help preserve your board and just make it even more frustrating for your opponent to kill it. The 2-card combo that's really interesting here, and what makes this truly a Gadgetzan deck in my mind, because the only card I've talked about that's actually a Gadgetzan card so far is Mark of the Lotus, but the 2-card combo is Bloodsail, Corsair, and Patches the Pirate. Now this is a card, Bloodsail Corsair, that you never see anywhere. This never gets played. Everybody plays Acidic Swamp Ooze. But of course, Bloodsail Corsair is a pirate, and if you play a pirate, you automatically summon Patches the Pirate from your deck. So it's a really cheap way to get 2 minions out faster, which Druid loves. Plus, of course, the meta right now is very weapon heavy, particularly early game weapons with stuff like Pirate Warrior or Aggro Shaman. So Bloodsail Corsair is just a way to deny those weapons sometimes and help your minions stick. And it's also a 1/2 body, which normally is a big downside because 1/2s just don't trade up that well or aren't that big of a threat. But in this deck, that is just a body that becomes something much bigger, so it's got some advantages there as well. So a pretty interesting little trick. And all that said, this is the Egg Druid by J4CKIECHAN. Now that we've talked about the list in pretty great detail, let's go ahead and jump out onto the ranked ladder to see it in action. Now, I will just go ahead and warn you, I don't have a ton of experience playing this version of this deck. I just played a couple games to try it out. So this Spotlight's just as much about me learning this deck as it is about you learning this deck. And I'm sure we'll run into some stuff that I don't really know the perfect answer to, because there's a lot of complexities here as far as, do you play a minion? Do you go for the buff now? Do you trade? Do you go face? Like, this is, you know, a lot of people would say a face deck or an aggro deck is kind of mindless and you just pound your opponent, but there's actually a ton of complexity in these kinds of decks as far as mulligan and just early game decisions are concerned. So I'm definitely not the player that Jackie Chan is here with his deck, nor in general. So forgive me if we make some mistakes, but I really just want to take a look at this deck and see if we can't win some games even if we're bad. So that is probably the worst mulligan imaginable. All right, so my thought process was I don't like any of these pirates because he doesn't have a weapon, but it didn't occur to me that actually, even if they don't have a weapon, the Bloodsail Corsair might not be bad just because it's a free extra minion, right? So that might have been a mistake right off the bat. We probably maybe should have kept one of those pirates just to play on one as a guarantee. But our other choices weren't great, so I was getting greedy for better one-drops, right? I want to get stuff out fast. Enchanted Raven, of course, is fantastic. If we have Mark of Yashiraj, we're in a great spot, I think, because it would make it a 4-attack minion, which Priest has a nightmare of a time dealing with. Even Mark of the Wild could be pretty good here, just because it's a nice minion that Priest can't handle. But it's not a wide board, unfortunately. I think we prefer a wide board, particularly early against Priest, before they find all their various AoE removal. Okay, so that's also not good. We're kind of just like running out of minions already. I think we make this trade just to deny any like buffs or shenanigans. And 3 damage is not like he's not got a Frostbolt up there to kill this. So I think it's still good. Acidic Swamp Ooze is sort of annoying because it trades in here. We can clearly buff this up. I think we summon a 3/2 Panther and buff. That makes this susceptible to Shadow Word Death, unfortunately. If he does have Shadow Word Death, he could just clear our board, which I think means we lose the game. We could also Patches and Mark, but that's just so weak. So we'll summon a 3/2 Panther. We'll play Mark of the Lotus, and we'll go face. I'm not gonna make that trade. Maybe I should though, because if he has Shadow Word Death, it's a much better play. He might be running Holy Smite, though, just because this is an aggro meta and a lot of priests have teched in Holy Smite, so I'm a little nervous about that. Talon Priest doesn't help him at all here, so that's fine. Do we just go Defender and trade? He's on 4 mana. He has the coin, so he could Holy Nova. Right? That's the risk of trade. Even if, what if we just don't trade? What if we just go face? See, there's a lot of complexities in this kind of deck. It's very challenging to play. I think we'll trade, because even if he Holy Novas out of this trade, if we go face and he Holy Novas, it's the same difference, right? We lose some face damage, but we do keep a minion alive for Holy Nova. No Holy Nova, so that's good. So we just have a giant board now. Okay, that's the dream. And we'll actually be able to kill one of these with a Defender, but we may not want to. We might just want to go face. We may have lethal if we draw the right thing. We have 11, 13 damage on board. Is that lethal? If it's lethal or not, it doesn't matter. We still have to do it, because we may not have this many minions on board again. So we have to go crazy. It's lethal though. Wow. Okay. Okay. Alright. That was fun. That was the top deck, I guess. That was the top deck. Like I said, if we draw the right thing, we might just have lethal. Patches is good. Patches fits this deck so well, even as a 1/1 charge. Even as the boar. Even as a Stone Tusk boar, he's a good card because of things like that. Like, how much damage did that Patches do? He was a 1-attack minion. We buffed him with Mark of the Lotus for 2, and he got the Savage Roar. So he was a 4 damage boost for free, because we were going to cast that other stuff anyway. So he was a 1-mana deal 4 damage card, which is just fantastic. So this is a bad mulligan. We gotta get rid of all of this. We have to get minions. We want minions. This stuff is... Maybe you could keep one Mark of Yasharaj, I guess, but you don't know if you're gonna get a beast. So I think we just have to go for minions. Backstab is such a scary card for us. That's also scary. We'll play both of these just to keep up here. Is Argent Squire better? Probably not, actually, just because of the way the weapon works. He can weapon it and then trade the Buccaneer into it. It'd be a heal for 2, but I don't think it's any better. This play trades a little better with the Buccaneer because this has 2 attacks. So if the Buccaneer wants to kill this, he can alternatively patch his weapon, but then he's taking a little bit of damage, sets up for our egg. I just don't like the Squire as much. Coin SI is a good draw. Jeez. So we're way behind already. Thankfully, this isn't doing a lot of damage yet, but... Oh, whoa! That's a weird play. I don't think that was right at all. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and buff these. And we're going to trade semi-creatively here. To get the most amount of minions out. We're going to leave the 3-3 up. We could have killed it, you can see, but this means our board is wider. So there's a chance more stuff survives. If he can weapon up, but if he wants to play a... Oh, gosh, that's not great. But it's honestly not that bad. We're getting some junk back. He's got to trade here one way or the other. This sets up a hero power for us nicely, but I want a 1-drop to pull that off. Yeah, I think we have to hero power. Since we got Living Roots and we can summon 2 more guys. A second Fan of Knives would really suck, but otherwise we're in a good spot, I think. We can play these out, or maybe just Power of the Wild if we get another 1-drop or 2-drop. He has 4 cards, which scares me, but I don't know. He's probably still Miracle Rogue. He's not aggro, he just happened to get the pirates he needed. Alright, so... Do we just go ahead and play the spiders and go face and float a mana? Do we Savage Roar to kill this and do 6 to the face? That just doesn't feel very good to me. I think we just try to make this work. He's going to be able to kill one of these and probably weapon 1 too, so I think we're only going to have 3 minions next turn. That Fan of Knives is just crippling. Such a good draw. Swipe would be bad. Yeah, so that's exactly what we suspected might happen. Eviscerate on the 1-3. I dig it. It's cool. It's probably a good play. I don't love this at all. I think I have to summon a Panther here. The question is, do I Savage Roar here? To clear this and have a couple minions out? Or do I have Mark of Yasharaj to trade? Or Mark of the Wild, I mean. I think I have to Savage Roar here. It kind of sucks, but we do run 2 of them. This means the Panther might live, which I think is worth it. Backstab is obviously a card, but this increases the chance this lives. I don't know about that play, honestly. But... looks like that's backstab right there. Alright, that's a fantastic draw, because it's card draw, which we desperately need. Sure, let's just go to town. Why not? We're playing real fast and loose with this. Shadow Strike's really bad for us. But we gotta try. We kind of gotta play to our outs. We can't play around stuff at this point, I think. Sap. Well, that sucks too. But we got the resource back at least. Cards are what we're really short on. Oh boy, that's gonna kill us for too long. It's gonna be really hard for us to stick minions at this point, just because he's gonna have initiative and be able to trade. We need something that generates wide minions. We'll play these. This is a minion. And it's a card. He gets to trade this way. He gets to backstab those. So it's going to be real hard to do that last 11. Real hard. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it. He just got off to a good start. That happens. I felt like we drew a little awkwardly. The Fan of Knives and the SI were both fantastic answers to everything we had. There it is again. This is cold blood on that. He's going to go face for 10. So we're just in a race now, basically. We have a taunt, so there is a way for us to survive this, but it's not happening today. So we'll just concede here. Face concede, as I call it. Oh, shoot, that didn't kill us because of the armor. Darn. Darn. Yep, we can't deal with SI Fan. That was just too good of a start. I think you might have lethal. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, bro. It seems like you can probably find it. I don't know. My guess is you can spot lethal. Let's see what card we draw. Blood Sail. That would have been good against a rogue. And it got us patches. We would have kept one of those in the mulligan for sure against rogue. Alright. So that's what it looks like to lose pretty hard with this deck. Let's keep going, see how we do. These are fast games, of course. So I like this deck. I don't really like aggro that much. I always find myself stressed making decisions because it has to be decided right now. Do you go face? Do you pressure? Do you make trades? It's scary. We could have traded into that Azure Drake with our 7/6 minion. Made us less susceptible to Shadow Strike, but it was still susceptible to Eviscerate. It made us less susceptible to Backstab a little bit too, but I still think you just kind of have to pressure and hope they don't have the answer right. He had the sap, so if we'd known that, we would have traded more, I'm sure. This is Druid, so I think we'll go ahead and Enchanted Raven. He could Wrath it, but it doesn't feel very good for him. Coin Wrath. And this shuts out a coin hero power value at all. Innervate Jade Blossom is a good trade for us, probably, so we're alright. Got good minions in hand. See, like, next turn, I don't know which minion is right to play. There's a lot of complexity. I'm going to be able to play 2 of these, but which ones? Oh, Living Roots is a good answer. I think that means we play the Enchanted Raven and the Ardent Squire. Actually, I guess we just play Enchanted Raven and Bloodsail Corsair. 2 health is harder for a Druid to deal with. This gives us an additional minion. We don't need the weapon, of course, but this just gives us 3 guys. We're not at swipe territory yet, so if I can get these out faster, it's harder. He can hero power patches, but that sets us up for a good turn, too. We'll have a bunch of 2 health sticky stuff for a potential buff. Oh, Wild Growth Slow, that's really good for me. It puts him on a swipe turn, but we're going to have a pretty swipe resilient board, honestly. I don't think we need hero power. I think we want to get minions down more than anything else. I wasn't really paying attention to positioning here, although I do think I landed on a pretty good spot where I can defender both of these guys. Maybe I want to defender a 1 health guy, I'm not sure. Innervate 7 drop, Ancient of War, great. That's awesome. Oh, that's not game, dude. You might have got a little too ahead of yourself. So I don't think we can kill it this turn necessarily, but we don't actually have to attack. We can just hole up, and I think that's the right decision. We want to be able to get a buff on this board. So let's just taunt up, hope he's out of cards. His hero power is going to be pretty useless. He could kill the Ardent Squire. So we just need to dodge, like, swipe. And then hope we draw into Savage Roar or Power of the Wild. It is kind of lucky that he had the coin Innervate Ancient, I'm not going to lie. Well, there's the swipe, too. So that hurts. It's still not the worst situation ever. Jade Idol, that's okay. I don't care about that. So I still need... this is good. This'll help. Pantry Spider's not incredibly helpful, but it does actually allow us to get back on the board and kill his Ancient this turn. Our plays here. I think we are going to... do I want to trade here? I guess so, just to deny hero power value. Because he could hero power it down. He's only got 3 cards in hand, so we need him to draw, not have card draw. We need him... Man, everything I say... everything I say goes backwards. Let's see, we have 6 mana, so we can hero power twice and play both of these. So we'll hero power here. And, we'll Fenley, pick a new hero power. Life Tap is for sure the best because we're out of cards and we have a ton of health. We're not going to market the Lotus yet. If we do, we have a bunch of 4 health stuff which still dies to the Azure Drake. So I want to get minions out instead. And we can always market the Lotus next turn. This is a very, very valuable tool here. It allows us to get back into this game. Bran into Jade's Spirit. That's actually a really, really good play. Just a lot of stuff I have to deal with now, or at least think about. That's interesting. I don't think that gives me lethal yet, though. It's only 6-8 damage. 8, 10 plus 3 is 13. So let's draw a card. Living Roots. It's just not possible for me to get ahead of his minions now, I don't think. Let's take a look at the board here and see what we can actually accomplish with a Savage Roar. Particularly with this minion, maybe if we run it into something like the Azure Drake. Here and here is cool. So I think we're going to tidy this up a little. Just to deny good trades. I might just send this one to face. I don't know. 2 is good, though, because it kills these guys, so... Alright. It's actually a decent board. He can kill 1, obviously, with this thing, but, I don't know. We hope he runs out of gas, but it's just not likely. Ugh, every time there's something worse. We're clearly out of clock with the Jade stuff. We'll be able to hero power that, but I do not want to send 3 of my guys into a 3-6 and just have them all die. Let's life tap first. Defender into power is decent. It's going to let me kill that, and it's going to let these survive. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to hero power, though. There's not a really very clean way to do this. It's a little bit of extra, I can see, but I'm not going to make that trade. That's insane. Alright, so life tap is keeping me in the game. I don't really mind that so much. We're just going to ignore it anyway. 4 to the face, I can live with that too. He's going to get a good trade here, but we can hero power that off. We have 3 to the face. Puts him at 14. Dragon Egg is good, but not a beast. These are beasts, though, so let's draw a card. Oh, I can't hero power that off. I don't have... I'm stupid. I don't have hero power anymore. What a dummy. Alright, so we'll try this. Soul of Forest is probably too late. Probably too late. That's scary, but a little slow. 8 armor is awesome, though. If that's what he decides to go for. So these aren't gonna be... We need to have 2 minions we can play here. Oh, that's good. That's actually pretty good. So we can do this. Do I want to go ahead and kill this? I did not actually mean to do that. I misclicked. I think I was going to, but I didn't actually mean to. Always draws the swipe on my dragon eggs. That's not fair. So we're gonna need a Savage Roar or something soon to just apply a ton of damage. Got the Living Roots. It's getting a lot of card draw off this Auctioneer. We didn't have enough to kill it. We only had 3 damage on board last turn, so... It's going to require a very specific set of outs here for us to succeed in this game. He has 21 health. It's a lot to get through. Oh my gosh, this Gadgetzan turn. More health. That's even more to get through. He didn't blow up with Jade Idols, but he's still going to outvalue us so hardcore. Let's life tap. It's not my favorite card, but it's a card. Do we actually want to kill this? Is there a fatigue option? I guess we have to for Jade Idols. He could just go forever, so. Alright, let's see. He's going to play another Ancient War, and that's going to shut us out of the game. Aya is scary, but... Oh god, we're going to die to his stuff now. Unless we draw lethal this turn somehow. That's not going to do it. So, we're dead. We can't kill enough. We're just dead. Oh, that was tough. That was tough. Man. Oh, I should have played Runic Egg, by the way, for technically correct play, but I was just conceding. That was tough, man. We got that Innervate Ancient. That's Coin Innervate Ancient. That was the turn. If we'd have gotten through him for sure without that. We actually went toe-to-toe anyway. Like, we were so close to winning that game a couple times. Like, so close to stabilizing, but he had enough answers and enough Jade Golems. I don't think we traded too conservatively or anything, because he was just going to be able to kill us sometimes if we didn't. Like, our health total was becoming a concern, and I think we played it relatively well, just got beat by circumstances. So I'll try one more game. So far, we're kind of running out of gas and struggling to stabilize. So I actually like this hand. Corsair is great on 1. We can actually coin the Enchanted Raven 2. It's not great on 1 because it doesn't destroy the rogue weapon, but I guess I'll actually just Enchanted Raven, coin Enchanted Raven, play it by ear. Maybe Corsair, maybe Mark, depending on where we land, what he plays. If he does Pirate Start 2, then that changes things a little bit. But 2 2/2s is an awfully fast start, even with patches. This, you guys get like flashbacks every time you see this. It's guaranteed to happen every time. It always happens. So we need to dodge Counterfeit Coin SI again. That's just too good. Need to dodge Backstab. We need him to weapon. That's fine. We can deal with that. He's gonna make one inefficient trade. So good that he gets to clear the board. We'll not be able to kill this, but we're gonna have a decent turn. I mean, I guess I go ahead and do this since it's a kill on the minion. I otherwise wouldn't. I think I'd rather save it. Pantry Spiders into Mark of Yasharaj is a pretty good set of turns, though, so we're okay. We just need him to have some bad... That's a bad turn. That's exactly what we need. Savage Roar's not great. I'm going to need some stuff to refill before too long. I mean, I like having this as an out to win the game, but I'm going to need a refill. Let's mark first and see what we get. Runic Egg, Living Roots is fine. This sets us up for a potential lethal next turn, I think. It's going to be close. Another fan would suck. He's got a good trade here into this 3/5, which is annoying, but if he does that and just plays it slow, we can roar for a ton of damage. If not, we can maybe make a good trade or hero power this down or something. We'll see. Fan? No, SI. That's okay. He's taking damage there. So that's 4 plus 3 is 7. Oh, no. What? I don't know what numbers I just said, but they didn't make any human sense. I'll tell you that. So 4 minions is 10 damage for Savage Roar. Plus 3 is 13. This is 14. We can put him down to 2. This is 10 total. Plus 3 is 13. Plus hero power is 14. Do we go for it, though? Or do we make some trades? The problem with this deck, we don't really have direct damage, but I don't think he has a taunt or anything. The problem is we have to stick a minion usually in order to... So let's... I just do this to see if there's any really good trades to make. For instance, like this is a pretty good trade. So I think we're going to go kind of halfsies here. We're going to clear and pump a little face damage. Just because this is a decent board, if he does like clear it, we get a card, we get a minion back, we get a card back. Like I think we're safe. Putting him at 2, I don't know. We could have eventually chipped him down with hero power, I guess, but I don't know. Like I said, this is really hard. I'd be really interested to see how Jackie Chan handles a turn like that. I just know that minions are what we want, and we give him opportunities to clear our minions a little too easily. It can be problematic. Conceal? Just to get a big Edwin. I like it. I think... I guess he doesn't need a concealed Edwin. So we're definitely going to hero power first. Go face, and then Finley. 100 hero power is good. I guess... Man, I don't know. We're so close to ending the game that this is attempt just because we can ping face every turn and chip him away. But also minions are good. In fact, I guess totems are better than reinforced just because these are harder for a rogue to kill because he can't weapon them. And they're more likely to stick around and eat a buff for attack damage eventually. So this is another tough decision. I guess we'll go for minions. I don't know. I don't know if it's right, guys. I have no idea. Taunt Totem would be really good, too. That's probably the worst one right now, because it's just susceptible to Fan of Knives and things. Fan of Knives isn't really too bad, though, because we're going to get a 2-1 out of that if that happens. Sapped. The Runic Egg. I love it. That is an awesome play. You know he's in dire straits when that's the play. And you run an 8-8 into a 0-2. So, oh, that's why. Fan is good. He didn't want this to die to the Fan. Sap Fan. I like it. Alright, so we're just going to keep loading up and see how he handles it. I like that. That's good. Saves me from 8 damage, perhaps. And maybe protects my Divine Shield or something, too. Ugh, that's never what you want to see. Never what you want to see. If I'd known we were going to get Sir Finley, I guess I would have gone for the Mage Hero Power. Or I would have gone face with that Savage Roar. Oh, it doesn't really help because I'm dead next turn. So we drew dead. I don't have any way to kill this. Yeah, we're dead. No taunt totem, so we died. That sucks. I felt like... Oh, well, we were dead anyway, maybe, but... I guess... I don't know, guys. I guess maybe go face. I don't know. I don't have the answers. Feels like we were right there in all 3 of those losses, basically. Just maybe a turn or 2 from winning, so... That perhaps comes down to my playstyle, perhaps comes down to a lack of aggression. I don't really know. I didn't feel like we ever drew perfectly, so maybe it's that. Maybe we traded too much. Who knows? This is obviously a good deck, probably better in somebody else's hands than mine, so apologize for that. But I like it. I like the idea of it. I like it. It's fun. It has some cool synergies. It uses patches, which gives everybody nightmares and makes every opponent tilt immediately, so that's always a slight advantage on the ranked ladder in and of itself. So if you like this style of play, if you want to play some Egg Druid by Jackie Chan, I'd certainly encourage you to do so. Don't let my failures discourage you. You saw that first game, how crazy it can be to just win a fast game when your opponent doesn't have the answers. So in the right meta, in the right environment, I think you will find a lot of success with this deck if you learn it and you're aggressive enough, I guess, to make the right call. So that's going to do it for me and this deck spotlight. If you have any thoughts, comments, or questions, take some time to leave them below. I'll do my best to read and respond as much as I can. Thanks for watching, and until next time, game on.